Good morning. What a lovely day. It's really nice, and the camellia, but she's starting to flower, which is lovely. So this morning, just thought we can have a look at the vehicles. Right, today. So the history of this transit van is I had it for my old job in England. I brought it to France and used it to transport all my stuff over, including my digger and my dump truck, which I'll show you later on. And my brother started his own business. So I said to him, you can have the van, we're going to have a look at this today and see what needs to be done. I've changed the headlights to French side of the road, so left-hand drive, and it's got 2 new front tyres. Now I did a video a while back jump starting this in the cold day and found that there's a problem with the charging on it or the battery. My brother's put a new battery in it, so it's had 2 new batteries, but let's see today what we can find the problems on this van and see if we can get it ready and get it through a French MOT or control technique, or I don't know what you call it in America, vehicle inspection or whatever. You have one every 2 years here. Let's see. Yeah, so that's not connected. Let me connect it up and see what happens. As I mentioned, my brother changed the battery on this, so let's just check these connections. Oh yeah, lovely. Okay, great. So first things first, let's tighten this up, put this on, see what we get. Right, okay, let's just see what voltage we've got one-handed. 10.99, so 11 volts. It's really not good. Let's see what happens. Put the key in. Not a sausage. Right, so I've connected this little bulb across, and now we will measure the voltage with a load. Five. Right, see if we've got a replacement or something just temporarily. Alright, so I don't have another battery. So what I've decided to do is supercharge this battery just to see if I can get to a state where it will work. I mean, it's not ideal, but just temporarily to see if we can get the actual car to start, and then I'll get a new battery for it. The situation is the battery's on, it's got 11.9 volts, so we should see something. Okay, that sounds like it just doesn't want to start, that's fine, but it won't do it all the time. Oh. It does now. How very strange. Okay, I've checked all the grounds and they all seem fine. So let's go through this methodically instead of just guessing. What's supposed to happen when you put the key in, turn it, everything's supposed to light up and you get all the lights on the dash. Now that doesn't take a lot of power, and we know we've got power there because we've got an actual light for the doors and the anti-theft. So something happens in there. So I think the CD gets power, CD player. But the fan doesn't. So in this position the fan should work. The radio works all the time anyway, so that's... But the lights work, but they work all the time anyway. So I think we need to investigate fuses and relays. So let's locate the relay and fuses for the ignition, find out where they are, do a bit of research and go from there. Okay, so under the bonnet we've got a fuse box. We've got fuses and we've got relays. These are the relays and fuses. Right, the easiest thing to do first is go through and check all the fuses, clean it up. Okay, so all the fuses are fine in this box. There might be another fuse box somewhere, but we don't know yet. So check all of these, they're all okay, and all the little fuses are fine. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at the relays. That's an engine relay there, number 8. This one. We should test it really, shouldn't we? Hopefully on the side there we've got a diagram. So 1 and 2, which is these two, are the contacts to operate the coil in the relay, and 3 and 5, which is these two here, are the two that are switched. Fine. Alright, so all these fuses work, all the relays work. So the problem are not the fuses or the relays. Yes, it could be the connections behind this. I don't see anything's changed. It's not wet in there. The connections, when I pull the relays out, look good, no corrosion. You can see by the inside of the lid it's quite good. So there are more fuses, so there's some behind the driver's seat, so we can go and have a look at those. Okay, all those fuses are fine. To see if there's another fuse box, maybe in the glove box or behind that. Right, I think it's time we emptied this out. Okay, so here's another fuse board behind the glove box, and 10 amp fuse there. It looks like something aftermarket, maybe something to do with the trailer perhaps. Okay, so none of the fuses blown, none of the relays are inoperable, and we still have the same problem. Nothing comes on at the ignition stage. I was wondering if the ignition switch, this is super frustrating. What I'm going to do now is try and that's all the basic stuff done, so what I'm going to try and do now is communicate with the ECU, but normally you need the key on for that to work. Anyway, stop beating myself up about it. Let's see if we can connect in. Okay, so on this data port is just underneath the steering wheel. Got my old Bluetooth dongle. At least we've got some power at the port, which is good. Okay, so we can see there is no connection to the ECU. Like it says, the ignition must be switched on or the engine must be started. And it's not connecting because we can't connect to the, we can't switch the ignition on to connect to it. So I'm going to need a wiring diagram. Still not connecting. Oh, did you see that? Just for a second then, just for a second. Right. There was something there then, did you see that? What was that? But no. Whoa. So if I push it in, yes. Interesting. I think we need to get access now to the ignition barrel. Let's do that. Now, to get into these things is usually very, very difficult. Usually there's security bolts of some sort in there. It looks like a star bolt, so I'm going to give that a go. We have this plastic ring, which is the transponder for the immobilizer, and then on the other side here we've got the electrical connections for the these ones here for the ignition. Look, this is the other end of the ignition key where the electrical contacts are. Look. Yeah, we can pull those out normally, and then this is loose, and I've got a feeling if we can get into that here somehow, we might have our solution. Right, okay, so that's where our ignition key ends up, that little spindle. So let's see if I turn this, look, like this. If I turn that, watch this here. So that's literally all that key does. And this bit here is the business bit, and that fits on the end in there, and it's just two clips, one there, one there, and it just clips in like that. Simple as that. But we can prove it's this because if I push in, everything comes alive. Alright, so here we go. This is the business end of the ignition. So that little thing turns this, which makes these contacts inside look 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. And I've got a feeling all is not good inside. So for some reason these aren't making contact. Or this contact is dirty. That one looks pretty dirty there. Right, I'm going to clean this up if I can. Okay, so we know that just by pressing this in, that little bit is enough to make the contacts. And like I said before, I've got another one coming. But what I'm going to do is super glue it shut, see if that works. Last time I promise I'm going to try it. And then I've got another beer, maybe. Anyway, so just remind you, here is our glued up ignition. Oh yes. Well, turns over. I don't know whether my brother's left this empty with no fuel in it. I wouldn't put it past him. I'm going to go and buy some diesel. I'm going to take the battery, put it on conditioning charge overnight at my house. I've got a better battery charger there. I'll return tomorrow with the diesel and the battery, and then fingers crossed. Let's see. So that was it. No diesel in it. Thanks, Dave. So now the engine is running, we just want to quickly quickly check if the alternator is working. So we'll do that by measuring using a clamp meter how much current is going in to the battery. Okay, it's interesting. So not much at all. Look, 4 or 5 amps at idle. So that's not working properly for sure. Okay, that's it for this video. Yeah, it was an interesting exercise, I think. Just shows the need for methodically working through it. But even then, you know, in the end it was just a matter of chance that I found that the ignition worked when I leant on it. But we would have got there in the end, the way it was going. Anyway, that's it for this video. So please subscribe and share it if you think people might find it interesting. And I'll see you on the next one.